Tigers would be each time against a 14-0 heavyweight from the Southeastern Conference. Begin the second quarter on the move with the LSU 42. Then Jay Dixon spelling ETN in the backfield. You fake it to Rogers. Pop it to Rogers. It was a pop pass, cleverly done. He gets some speed, gets the corner for about 6.
They're going to continue to challenge those edges of the LSU defense. If they're going to try to get pressure, think about just the pass rush. That's a good way to keep them honest and make them have to respect that aspect, whether you run ETN or you use a jet sweep, in that case with Rogers.
2nd and 5. Lawrence has got it, rolls out, delivers a long throw over the head of Justin Ross. You see the arm strength, but it wasn't accurate.
Yeah, it gives him that zone read feel and look for the defense, trying to bait them up, trying to get those linebackers and defensive backs to come up and try to get a one-on-one matchup he can win. And because Stingley was in great position, he tried to go back shoulder to get the ball to Ross where he can maybe have a chance, but obviously the ball sails on him. Good coverage there by the Tigers, by the LSU Tigers.
You got to clarify today.
I know.
3rd and 5. It's Rogers motioning across. Dixon is the back, and Lawrence is pressured. Flips the ball to Dixon at the last minute. Dangerous play, but it worked out. Caught, but 3 yards short of the marker at the 35.
Caleb Chason has had a great last 2 or 3 games. Relentless effort. He actually went to the ground, got back up, and still got this pass rush on Lawrence before he's able to get it out just before his knee touches to get it out to Dixon. But boy, Chason is right now a factor coming off the offense's left side against Carmen.
Field goal team is on the field. B.T. Potter to try this from 52, which would be a career long. He's hit from 51 twice. LSU's field goal team ran on very late. The kick is away, and it is good from distance. As the sophomore delivers a new career long, a 9-play, 40-yard drive, and Clemson back on top. He drove it low and had just enough. Hasn't been a great season for the young kicker, but he delivers on a big stage. 10-7, Tigers in orange.
Get your 4 for $4 at Wendy's.
President and First Lady also attended LSU's victory at Alabama this year. And Congressman Steve Scalise on the right there looks ready for Mardi Gras.
He does. Got the beads going.
The de facto home team, though, once again behind. B.T. Potter now 3 for 3 on field goals beyond 50 yards this season. And a nice smile from Dabo Swinney afterward. He eschewed the long field goal try early, but Potter delivers there. So he now kicks off, and it'll be another touchback. Time from plan to play. Brought to you by Northwestern Mutual, Kirk.
Well, they went back to the drawing board. They said, you know, let's get the ball out of Joe Burrow's hands quickly. That was one of their answers, trying to find matchups, trying to find space, trying to get their athletes in space. Then they created a one-on-one opportunity. Burrow knows he's going to chase all along. Keeps the safety in position, works his way from the left all the way to the right. Come up with a 70-yard drive and that touchdown. They had 38 yards on 14 plays before that touchdown.
They had 10 pass attempts. It netted 32 yards until the 52-yarder to Chase. Got to hurry. Here comes pressure. Burrow scans and takes off. And he's in the clear and now slides down. He is a dangerous runner. Really hurt Georgia in the SEC championship game.
Watch the middle of this defense. Watch how it clears out. And watch Joe Burrow feel Isaiah Simmons take Moss. Once he gets his eyes on Moss, you've got to have somebody there to account for the speed and the decisive the thought process of Joe Burrow.
He's now run for 37 first downs this season. That is a big number.
And he gets upfield so quickly when he makes his mind up to run the ball.
Much quicker than he might appear on TV. When you watch him field level and defenses have to adjust, they are usually surprised. On the slant in traffic, it's Marshall And they get about 6.
That's LSU this year. You're going to bring pressure with Isaiah Simmons. They're going to get the ball out fast and find one of those quick slants underneath, whether it's to 2, who's had a quiet night, Justin Jefferson, or the Terrace Marshall, who comes up with that big catch there on 1st and 10.
Clemson again in that 3-down lineman look. 1 linebacker, 7 DBs, and Burrow has to force the ball into coverage there. Simmons is all over Thaddeus Moss. They're keen on taking away the tight end tonight.
They know that they have to, and they want to put Isaiah Simmons on the tight end because of the size and the natural matchup there. Does a good job working around with his arm. Body doesn't affect Moss for the PI, but he has, again, that great length to be able to get around him and knock it away.
Butkus Award winner, made it a long time to make an impact play against Ohio State. Finally had the pick. 3rd and 4. Burrow pressured. Chased by Skalski. And has to just throw it away. So again, the linebacker blows the play up. It's 4th down.
They're trying to get the ball out to Clyde Edwards-Helaire on a run. But the pressure up the middle, again, they're able to get home clean. Nobody's there. You go empty. You know you're going to get pressure. But because of the coverage downfield by the safety, Nolan Turner, there's nowhere to go. Even though LSU knew that was coming, they can't get separation on 3rd down. Nowhere to go for Burrow to throw that ball.
Talk about a quarterback. It's on the FBS record pace, almost 78% completions. Just 7 of 14 so far. And this time it's the LSU punt team's job to knock the ball dead deep. Racy McGrath, or McMath, I should say, is their top special teams gunner. He downs the ball at the 4-yard line.
Gatorade Zero. The 5 for 4 deal. Your way, way better.
The College Football Playoff National Championship game, presented by AT&T, is brought to you by Gatorade. For the athletes who give everything, nothing beats Gatorade. And Samsung QLED TV, bringing 4K to tonight's megacast for the first time ever.
LSU winning championships on home soil, a familiar theme. Odell Beckham Jr., the Honey Badger, lots of legends on both sides here. LSU once beat Clemson in the Sugar Bowl in a perfect season. 7-zip thriller.
That's right. Patrick Peterson
for halfback pass. Coming up at halftime, CFP 150 celebrated by the 11 greatest players in the history of the sport will be saluted. That'll be a lot of fun.
We saw LSU in that first quarter penned inside their own 10 a couple of times, unable to be very effective, get any traction. Let's see how Trevor Lawrence handles it.
Kobe Stevens, the safety, is back in the game. Lawrence on play action from the end zone, fires a long throw. Ross makes the catch. He'll be wrestled down at the 28 by Fulton, but a 1st down.
Boy, just a great route by Justin Ross. They're going after Fulton. Inside move to the post, comes to the outside. Fulton never had a chance. Great eyes, great patience that time by Ross. Really sold that inside move to make Fulton bite on it before he cut back outside.
He's been tough to beat this year. He's got a 1st-round NFL draft grade, does Fulton. 24-yard gain. And a handoff to Etienne, who bounces it. And scoots and still going. Etienne tight-roping into LSU territory. Delpit finally forced him out.
You know, as good as Chason is as a pass rusher, he loses the edge, and his eyes are looking towards the quarterback, Lawrence. He's looking for a pass because Lawrence fakes the throw, and Etienne went right by him.
Got 29. He's got it again. Etienne would love to match the feat of his little brother Trevor, who scored a touchdown in this building. They lost the 3A state championship game, but Travis has never scored a touchdown in the Dome.
Well, he's on his way. It looks like they're having a big night. They are having a hard time setting that edge, and just like that, Clemson inside their own 5, and now plus territory at the 36 of LSU.
Big chunks of yardage. Linday Dixon on a reverse. It's Higgins. Lawrence throws a block. Higgins is off and running. Breaking tackles, banging off people. Touchdown. Clemson stretches the lead. Wow. 96 yards. The trickery.
Now you get an aggressive defense. You counter that with the reverse. Look at Carmen leading the way. Look at Justin Ross, 8, with an outstanding block on the freshman Stingley. And then T. Higgins showing some toughness, lowers his shoulder and goes over the other corner, Fulton, to work his way into the end zone. Some physicality from the long, lanky wide receiver at 6'4", 215.
AT&T Pylon Cam shows you the touchdown. He kept his feet in bounds. And, hey, Kirk, Clemson backed up. They don't care. Against Ohio State. 94 and 99-yard touchdown drives. This one, 96 yards in 4 plays. Looks like that game-winning drive was out in the desert.
Shows the confidence they have in a quarterback with their play calling when they get pinned back like that.
Already 263 total yards. LSU just 117, about half that on the one big play.
Yeah, again, LSU is trying to, they've had a hard time being able to stop the edge. And so they're going to fly. Watch this defense fly to stop the potential run. Out of position, Carmen showing some athletic ability, but that block by Justin Ross is just outstanding, and love to see T. Higgins lower his shoulder. Trevor Lawrence kind of helps set that edge, kind of does his job, just stands in the way of the big defensive lineman.
Well, Kirk, we wonder what would happen if this front-running LSU team, this offense that's been unstoppable, meets their match against a talented defense and falls behind. Dabo Swinney's team is up by 10, and we're about to find out right now.
I wish he'd start having some fun down there as a coach.
For those in orange, that was a fun play. Trickery, a bunch of guys doing their jobs, and Higgins finishing it with a physical move inside the 5-yard line.
And right away, you saw Dabo go down and work the defense, trying to get them to respond to that drive and touchdown, put Clemson up.
LSU has not been behind by double digits all season long. Another reminder, Saturday night, UFC 246 in Vegas. Conor McGregor, long-awaited return to the octagon against the Cowboy. Donald Cerrone holds the UFC record for most wins. Prelims at 8 on ESPN, main event at 10 Eastern. Go to ESPNplus.com/PPV.
See Dabo congratulating Justin Ross, not T. Higgins, just for the block.
Burrow on the slant. Chase has got it, and first down out across the 40. How do you defend slants like that consistently all night?
You can't, because what he's looking at is the linebackers coming up to stop the run, so it gives him a passing lane on the run-pass option. Usually, you don't see a quarterback work to the backside. You've got to have inside leverage to take away those quick throws. That's just great execution, though. It's tough to stop.
Justin Jefferson, we're used to seeing him catch those slants. Just one catch so far for -1 yard. Clemson brings the pressure. It's picked up, and now Burrow is launching downfield, and it's Chase again who's got the catch, and again fighting inside the 5. Terrell was beaten again. He did save the touchdown.
So if you're going to pressure Joe Burrow, it's just going to come down to, do you get to him or not? Because if you're going to leave Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson one-on-one, they're going to continue to go downfield because of the confidence that they have that they will win that one-on-one matchup.
Edwards-Helaire on first and goal is stopped by Nolan Turner, the safety who invaded the backfield. So plays of 52 and 56 yards already to Chase.
That's another one of their answers to this pressure is, hey, if we get one-on-one, let's get downfield and make a throw. Boy, Dabo Swinney, a full sprint. That was like a 40-yard sprint to try to get that time out.
The headset went flying. He saw something he didn't like down there as LSU went empty. Dabo's still got you wonder if he's pulling a hamstring, but he does sprint out. He gets good and warmed up.
He does. He sprints onto the field full sprint. Maybe it's for those kind of opportunities. That was good 30 yards.
Well, they were celebrating seconds ago, but you can see why, even though LSU is not used to being behind, no lead is safe. They dangerously have moved inside the 5-yard line.
You know what's great about this game is the confidence that both coaches have in their quarterback, and that they feel that we're going to continue to fight. We're going to continue to be aggressive. We're not going to get conservative. We're not going to think, oh boy, they've got us off track. Let's pull back a bit. No. Keep going full steam ahead. Keep believing in Joe Burrow. Keep believing in Trevor Lawrence, and make this defense, even with this system that's gotten us a bit off track, make them have to respond to us.
This is great versus great. LSU is so tough to stop with their pass game inside the 10, but Clemson's been the ultimate red zone defense this year. It's what won him the game against Ohio State. Edwards-Helaire goes in motion. Burrow is flushed and chased and has to throw it away. Once again, it was Skalski trying to run the quarterback down.
They're having a lot of success bringing these blitzes up the middle. Skalski's going to split right up the middle between the guard and the tackle. Nobody there. You can see a late reaction, just being confused. You're moving your protection one way, and they bring more pressure the other. It's a pre-snap to post-snap look that it's affecting the offensive line in the pass protection.
Great use of the timeout at this point as they slowed LSU's momentum. And now it's 3rd and goal.
Now they're really spreading them out, trying to create space and see who can win a one-on-one battle.
One of those crucial plays early. And Adamo Sweeney says games like this, it's just 4 or 5 plays that are going to decide the outcome, but you never know when they're going to happen. They happened in the 2nd quarter of the semifinal. LSU takes a timeout before the 3rd and goal.
Are we ready? Sure. It's time for Gotham to meet.
Joe Burrow told us he thought it would be, quote, a fun chess match tonight against Venables in that Clemson defense. Hasn't been as much fun as he thought, Kirk, but now after each side has taken a timeout, 3rd and goal from the 4.
And now you're Joe Brady upstairs with Steve Insminger. You're trying to find the matchup. Are you going to Jamar Chase, who's up against Terrell? Are you trying to get it to Justin Jefferson, who's in a slot against Kayvon Wallace? Thaddeus Moss is out there. You've got a lot of different options.
Edwards-Helaire far to the left. Tigers have yet to convert on 3rd down tonight. One of those big 4-point plays. Burrow looking to run. Escapes and scores. Well, they got the Fab 5 playmakers, but you got to keep an eye on the quarterback, too.
And they called the right thing. They expected an empty, the potential of him to run. He's done that a lot this year out of empty, especially down inside that 5-yard line. They brought the blitz, Isaiah Simmons and Skalski, but it's picked up by LSU's offensive line, and it opened up there for an easy touchdown for Burrow.
We said chess match. That one goes to Brady and Burrow. Cade York, freshman kicker, who has missed 4 PATs on the season, even though he converts long field goals, cuts the lead to 3 again.
Here's the touch, or the nice long run by Chase. He gets to the outside from that slot position. They've been moving him around a bit on that right side. Again, that's the matchup. Terrell against Chase. He wins again, almost gets it into the end zone, but we get all the way down to a 3rd down and goal. Spread him all over the field. There's the blitz. Isaiah Simmons came up, but he's picked up nicely by Ed Ingram, the left guard who's in right now. And he sets that block and makes it easy for Burrow to get to that end zone for the touchdown.
So each of these prolific passing quarterbacks, who are also dual threat guys, have a rushing touchdown tonight. Burrow is a perfectionist, almost never satisfied no matter how monster a night that he has. Always feels like he can do more or better.
Never enough. Just wants to keep raising the bar. He's being challenged tonight. He knows it. He knew that coming in, that there was a good chance for this scheme from Clemson to give his offense fits, but they're adjusting well, and they put themselves within 3 points.
75-yard drive, and Travis Etienne, it comes from Jennings when he made his announcement on recruiting day. Give a jab at LSU fans who remember. Because both schools called Death Valley home, but Travis weighed in on that night.
He's the hat. Where are you going for the next 4 years?
I'll be taking my talents to the real Death Valley.
The real Death Valley.
Those are fighting words, and the ugly side of social media, he did get some threats. Once this matchup was set, LSU fans began to harass his family. Travis still smiling through that and enjoying his experience. A lot of media attention for him this week. He's got the football. He's trying to bounce it, and he's going to run smack into a tackler there, knocked down by Phillips. Maria?
So, Chris, you mentioned that hometown of Jennings, Louisiana, and that town had Clemson Day on Friday, despite the fact that they're right in the middle of LSU country. T-shirts were made to support Travis Etienne called Tigers Divided, and ultimately he's been called a ray of light in that city. But Travis said he's gone into a submarine, guys, leading into this game, blocking everything out, including moms, so he could be focused.
You can't hear the static in a submarine, can you? Travis over 4,000 career rushing tonight and 5,000 all-purpose, and he's got it again. Kind of a sprint-out handoff. He shows the strength, loses the helmet, and draws a flag at the end of the run. It'll move the ball near midfield.
Yeah, I think 7, Grant Delpit, trying to make a tackle, got his hand in there on the face mask and ripped the helmet off of Etienne, who we're just talking about.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 7. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Delpit, who struggled at times with injuries this year, won the Thorpe Award. He's had a tough night so far, Kurt.
He has, and even without the penalty, look at the physicality. I mean, this kid runs hard, leads the nation in yards after contact per carry, and then you get the face mask on the back end of that to add the more 15 yards.
Have the back of the helmet and ripped it off. LSU crowd not in love with the call. Empty backfield. Lynn J. Dixon to the right. And Lawrence is looking to the left. And now flips it over the middle, over the head of Rodgers, who takes a huge shot there from Stevens and is slow to get up.
He took a shot right in the back. Stevens, who's sitting back there playing his deep safety spot. You know, that's just a big hit right there in the backside of Amari Rodgers. Ball just sailed on Trevor Lawrence. He had him open.
Hit him with his shoulder. You can see the whiplash effect on Rodgers. Bill LaMagna is our rules expert in the booth. In his opinion, that's an okay, clean hit.
The hit was fine. The timing was fine. He did not go in to the head neck area. Didn't use the crown of his helmet. It's a clean hit.
Stevens is a guy that's no stranger to penalties. He's the most penalized guy on LSU's defense, but that's kind of a dream play for a safety.
Oh, yeah.
See a receiver laid out, and you get a chance to hammer him.
Especially if you hit him clean. Mario up and running off the field. Stevens, when you talked to Dave Aranda, the defensive coordinator from LSU, he said, you know, he really helped set the tone emotionally for this defense. Veteran who bounces around and plays a lot of different positions.
And this has been a fun one, hasn't it? Clemson's been very sharp. Defense controlled LSU early, but a couple of touchdowns. And now Lawrence and the Tigers right back to work in LSU territory. Dabo Swinney way it out on the field. Has to be ushered back to the sidelines.
I don't know if Etienne is going to motion back into the backfield, but they have him lined up.
Lawrence fires to Etienne in heavy traffic. LSU all over that. K'Lavon Chaisson, mostly a pass rusher, but dropped into coverage that time.
Yeah, I think the entire defense, when they saw 9 out wide, it's an unusual look. I think it was an indicator that ball is going to come out. Good chance it's going to go to Etienne. Did a good job of leveraging the football, forcing him back inside. It's for Dave Aranda. We talk so much about Venables. Aranda can really crank up the pressure himself and has a great pass rusher in Chaisson, who's right there.
3rd and 9. Quick off the edge, but Lawrence rolls away from the pressure, delivers an inaccurate throw to Higgins, and it's 4th down.
Pressure. Divinity's back in the lineup. He gets off quick. No call as far as being a little early. He just had great quickness. He's got the time to make that throw, and I think he felt maybe a little bit hurried because on the blind side he felt that blitz was coming. Maybe hurried it a bit, but didn't have much of a chance at all for Lawrence.
Divinity, a guy who missed 9 games. Media reports of a 4th positive test for marijuana. He is so eager to make a play here in his hometown. He said all that pent-up anger from all those missed games was going to come out tonight, he hoped. After the punt, LSU once again with poor field position, down by 3.
Snakes, no snack.
Gotta sing it right, man.
Rated R.
Hope for some mayhem to cap the season. Curtis Wilson and the All-State buses here in New Orleans. What have you selected as tonight's mayhem moments?
Well, you go back and look at that semifinal game where Ohio State was up 16, and I think the fact that Lawrence gets knocked out of the game and then comes back, in the way he came back to be able to lead Clemson to that win, 16 carries, 107 yards. I think that was definitely a mayhem moment. Showed a different side of his athletic ability that night, and toughness as well.
LSU from the 13. Once again, Clemson crowding the line. Burrow trying to figure out where the pressure is coming from. It's picked up, and he fires across the middle. It was over the head of Jefferson. They struggled to involve the star receiver so far tonight.
Yeah, they typically with Jefferson like to work the bender over the cross the middle. Bring a lot of receivers typically in front of that coverage. This time they didn't, but he's still able to get it over the outstretched arm of Tanner Muse, who in this 3-1-7 is almost playing a linebacker a lot of times tonight. They have him up closer to the line of scrimmage.
Jefferson, the guy that has 102 catches this year, has not made an impact yet so far. Burrow pressured immediately, flushed, takes off. Chased by Simmons, but he angles for a first down, and there you see the speed of the quarterback.
Absolutely, and not only the speed, but the recognition. Where's Isaiah Simmons? Where is he? Where is he? He clears out. He's worried about those underneath throws, those quick slants, so you can't cover the quick slant and also account for the quarterback. So if you stay there with Burrow, he'll make the throw. If you take the pass away, he's going to run it.
Burrow surveys and fires, and it's Chase again getting free, dragged down to the 45. Jefferson, I should say, finally makes an impact play.
That's more like what you expect to see. Watch this open up. They take Marshall 6 underneath, opens up a beautiful throwing lane. That's what LSU's offense has been, the timing and the rhythm this season.
Can't hold Jefferson down forever. Now Edwards-Helaire out of the backfield, spins free of a tackle, makes two more men miss, and gets down inside the 35.
Well, let's take a look at that. I thought he stepped out of bounds. What an incredible effort, though, by the talented back who's been doing that much of this season out of the backfield. Such a tough matchup. He's inbounds. Oh, did his hand maybe touch out of bounds?
Nope. They run the play, and now it's Jefferson out of the flat. Stop and go, lowers the shoulder, hammers down inside the 15, and the Tigers offense is rolling now.
Yeah, they sure are. They're getting the ball out quickly. Joe Brady and Steve Insminger, their adjustment is to be attacking, getting the ball out quickly, and getting their receivers to win these one-on-one battles.
And now the crowd boos because Clemson player Tyler Davis, the big, almost 300-pound defensive tackle, is dropped to the field, complaining of an apparent cramp.
They were going so fast. You know, that big play by Clyde Edwards-Helaire out of the backfield. This is where they slipped Justin Jefferson out, brought him from the left to the right. Nobody picks him up, and he is dynamic.
Edwards-Helaire, maybe the premier all-purpose back in the country. 50 catches coming in.
This to play. Look, you see his hand touches. His feet stayed in, but the hand touched down. But they were going so fast, it didn't give the replay booth enough time to be able to beat down and take another look at that.
Gary McNann is the replay official from the Pac-12 here. Davis continues to get stretched out. Again, Niles Pinckney, the starting defensive tackle, the grad student who's played in 4 playoff games, was in tears on the bench before the game. He has 1 more year left. He could come back, but be a tough way to end the career if you're Pinckney, and now Davis has to walk off. We'll see if that was, there's Pinckney there, but you feel for him. Ankle injury is the issue. We'll see if Davis's injury has broken the momentum here of LSU, which LSU fans suspect was the motive all along. First down inside of 6 minutes to play. Arororo a true freshman from Lagos, Nigeria, originally, with a fun name to say, filling in for Davis. Plenty of time for this pre-snap chess match.
Burrow not the only one looking over. Receivers look over. Edwards-Helaire looks over. Everybody on the same page.
Burrow from the pocket launches to the end zone. Caught! Touchdown Chase! And LSU takes its first lead tonight. Man, can he drop a dime?
I had a chance to sit down with Joe Burrow this week in Baton Rouge about this matchup, and I asked him about, boy, you throw a lot of balls that the receivers look covered, but you throw it and you score touchdowns. And he said, those defensive backs are not looking. They're open. I don't care if they're in phase or stride for stride with my receivers. I'm going to throw the ball. It's exactly what he does here with Jamar Chase. He trusts his receiver to make the play. Matched up against Terrell. It's good against good right here. Watch him hesitate and then work towards the fade. The timing of this. Wait, almost as if he's going to block. Pretty decent coverage till the end. But Burrow knows. See, shows, kind of flashes that he's going to block. Terrell didn't bite on it. Stays in pretty good coverage. But this is that timing between Joe Burrow and these wide receivers we've seen all year.
Chase has caught his 19th and 20th touchdown receptions tonight. Took it 87 yards in 6 plays, barely 2 minutes, aided by the fact that Edwards-Helaire touched his hand out of bounds, but they didn't buzz down in time.
That's right. How about Chase tonight? As he said, 5 catches, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns.
He was confident, and he's backing it up.
Sure is. We're not even to halftime. He's got 147 yards. And he's been going up against the best corner from Clemson and A.J. Terrell and winning that matchup.
His teammate Jefferson set the CFP single game record against Oklahoma with 227 receiving yards on 14 catches. Chase could chase that record down tonight if this keeps up. Now this season, for every field goal and extra point made by the 2 schools, All-State makes a contribution to the general scholarship fund. Thank you, All-State. Tonight, Kurt, Trevor Lawrence, and Clemson takes over behind for the first time tonight. And the noise is back in the dome. These folks have spent the entire game on their feet. Wide snap. Corralled by Lawrence, who fires, and a hands catch made beautifully by T. Higgins. Those long arms.
Wow.
In front of Fulton.
That was impressive. You know, T. Higgins had a rough night against Ohio State. Really, all the Clemson wide receivers had a rough night. And it's all hands. Nice catch there by T. Higgins, even as he comes down to the ground. They were challenged all year. They're going to take a peek at this. Take a peek, I guess, when he came to the surface. They're going to see if there was the ball moved when he came down with it.
Mentioned Higgins knocked out in the first quarter. It was a concern over a concussion. They examined him at halftime, and he came back in the third quarter against Ohio State, made 4 catches. Ooh, what is the first part to touchdown there? Looks like that foot was on the white.
See the left foot, if it gets down. Yeah, boy, I thought the left foot never got down.
He looked like he was going to be able to get it down.
I thought the left foot would get down right there, and it never quite touched.
You have to credit Fulton, though. His physical play forced the receiver out.
Sure did. I just assumed the left foot came down, especially we're watching it live. How about that toe? It somehow never touches the ground.
Clemson fans are saying, wait a second, now you buzz down quickly for a replay review?
Right. Yeah, they're going to bring this one back.
Take away. Gain out to the 36, a 16 or 11 yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah.
Aaron McNana has the final say, but there are 2 folks in the command center for the Pac-12 back in the Bay Area also weighing in on these replay reviews tonight. LSU fans are convinced that that replay is definitive.
Clemson receivers admitting to us that the Ohio State corners, Damon Arnett and Jeffrey Okudah, both did a good job of jamming them at the line of scrimmage. They didn't have a great game, and they've been challenged these last couple of weeks to try to step up in this game.
Well, they've already spotted the ball back at the 25-yard line. We haven't gotten an official verdict from Chris Coit, but here's a clue. It's a 2nd down and 10 play. They're looking at two things. Did he maintain possession, and
did he get a foot down?
Which foot touchdown first?
Yeah. It seems like everybody's dialed in on what's going on. Even the Clemson offense is already kind of moving forward as if it's 2nd and 10. They see where the ball has been placed.
After review, the pass is incomplete. The receiver didn't maintain control going to the ground. It'll be 2nd down. Please reset the game clock to 5 minutes, 14 seconds. 5:14.
We also don't think he got a foot inbounds.
Thank you.
Kurt, we talked about this battle on both sides between the talented receivers and the talented defensive backs. It's been interesting to watch so far.
It really has. Like I said, I mean, they've been challenged to try to step up. LSU plays a lot of man-to-man, very similar to the way Ohio State challenged them and had success, and they were determined to be able to get off a press and win.
Shovel pass inside to Etienne, who navigates through traffic. Can't quite bust that tackle for a bigger gain. Stingley got him to the ground along with Delpit, but it's a 1st down.
And Trevor Lawrence, nice patience, drawing Jacoby Stevens to him to be able to then flip it underneath to get Etienne the ball and then have a chance to follow the guard, John Simpson, around. He kind of hid behind him and then accelerated for that 1st down.
Things happen fast, but number 9 has the football in his hands. They fake it to him. Lawrence wanted a downfield shot, takes a hit, and launches an overthrow. That time Fulton was in coverage right there. No chance for Ross to make a play, and Rashard Lawrence hit the quarterback.
Yeah, Lawrence got in. He got off of the block of Simpson, and I really think that Lawrence feels that, and that's what forced him to get rid of that ball, not be able to really follow through, and it affected the accuracy of that throw.
Lawrence hit on Lawrence, and now there's a man down deep in the LSU secondary, and it is Delpit who's down on one knee. You talk about the intensity of this game. Emotions can also have a physical effect. We see players cramp up. Man, this has been a very high energy back and forth first half.
Everything you kind of would hope for. I mean, there's some challenging aspects of it early. Answers by LSU as the brain trust kind of figured out with Venables and how he's attacking and how to create some one-on-one matchups for Jamar Chase. How about Clemson? They got backed up inside their own 5. They responded, put a touchdown. It's kind of the game that we had hoped to see. You hope it lasts like this all the way for 4 quarters where it's so competitive.
We wondered how would LSU respond down by double digits for the first time this season. They responded with a couple of touchdowns, and the offense on solid footing. Nothing's easy for Burrow tonight so far.
No.
But he's responded. Chase has been the big weapon.
Sure has. And you wonder what Brent Venables will do as an answer. Is he going to bracket Jamar Chase, which would then open it up for Jefferson, or it could open up for other. That's what makes LSU so good on offense, is if you try to take one guy away, they're going to find the other potential matchup that's a mismatch or an advantage to them.
Replacing the Thorpe Award winner is a true freshman, Mo Hampton from Memphis, number 14 in its safety, playing deep center field. 2nd and 10. Delayed handoff, and Etienne going nowhere. Glenn Logan, the big defensive end, grabbed him for a loss.
What a great play by Glenn Logan right here. Works around the right guard, Cervinka. Look at that swim move, great hands. Keep in mind the size, 315-pound junior. Most consistent, the leader, really one of the great leaders of that defensive line. Not known for quickness in the interior of that defense, but there Logan really showed it.
They take the big bodies out. The 360-pounder Sheldon goes to the sidelines. You got just one true defensive lineman in there, along with the pass rusher Chason. On 3rd down, Lawrence rolls away from pressure, and it's incomplete. A high throw intended for Higgins, very well defended by Vincent Jr.
And that was a high throw, but a catchable ball that Higgins can make. I mean, this is a long throw, good coverage, size advantage with Higgins. That's why Lawrence put it up high. where the 6'4" T. Higgins can go up and over Vincent, who's 5'10", but tight coverage.
LSU with that tackle for loss in that possession, messing up the Clemson drive, and now 3:49 before halftime. LSU is going to get the football back with a 4-point lead. It's a deep punt by Spires. Stingley just lets it bounce, and that punt team has been busy and effective for the Tigers tonight. Once again, LSU backed up inside the 5.
And we've been marveling at Jamar Chase all year. The Biletnikoff winner, the timing, the execution with Joe Burrow. Slow start for this offense, but an adjustment just to get him isolated the way it has been all year. And it's been against Terrell. A.J. Terrell, the top corner, number 8. He's got great length, great athletic ability, but the last few series unable to stay up with number 1 from LSU. See if Brent Venables will make adjustments to try to slow him down by trying to get a safety over top to help out.
Tremendous punt, Kirk, by Spires, 58 yards. And LSU for the 3rd time begins inside its own 10. Edwards-Hilaire's got the football, evades a tackle, off and running. Barreling out toward the 30. Man, is he fun to watch.
He sure is. And you better have your head up and a chance. You better have your head up and you better wrap up. Look at this move right there on A.J. Terrell, the corner who's trying to set that edge. Look at the suddenness, the quickness, the lateral quickness, the jump cut there by Edwards-Hilaire. He gets upfield and picks up positive yards there on 1st and 10.
Burrow against a 4-man rush. Is still pressured. Can he escape? He bobbled the ball, recovered it, but it's a big loss of 9. Tyler Davis, the freshman, got in there.
There's a miscommunication there with Joe Burrow and his receivers. So often in this system, you need to read the same coverage. You need to see exactly the same thing. And that time, Burrow wanted to go deep to his right. But Clyde Edwards-Hilaire, who lined up out there, was matched up, and he did not run the deep route. Burrow was surprised, had just ate it.
So surprised he bobbled the ball.
Yeah.
2nd sack for Clemson and 2nd and 19. Burrow against a twisting pass rush. Inaccurate throw for Marshall. 3rd and a mile.
Sometimes you don't even have to bring pressure. You don't have to blitz Skowski. You don't have to bring backers or safeties. You just use that twist to be able to try to affect the eyes and try to affect that offensive line's communication. Now, because of that sack on 1st and 10, look at this, 3rd and 19.
Good luck against the Venables defense.
Yeah. Do they bring pressure? And where is it going to come from? Skowski's had a lot of success on 3rd downs, getting home.
Here he is on the left edge, number 47. Oh, there were 11 Clemson Tiger defenders close to the line on 3rd and 19, so they call a timeout. Chess match.
And then 8 guys within the box, all capable of blitzing, and you're looking at Joe Burrow, and he's looking at that defense, and he's trying to set that protection. And it's a little bit of a guessing game on trying to figure out where that pressure might come from. And then again, they could show it and then just bail and get out of it.
And Nick Saban said in the pregame, he thought the key, which defense could affect the opposing quarterback the most. Both defenses have been successful. Nick will join Reese and Desmond. The Mercedes-Benz halftime report just 2:29 away.
I think that was the key for everybody really coming in, is what can you do to slow down? You're looking at a quarterback in Joe Burrow, who's more than likely going to be the 1st pick overall this year, and Trevor Lawrence, who's going to be the 1st pick next year. Somebody better slow these guys down, right?
Saban, of course, who won a championship in this building for LSU and against LSU and Alabama.
Joe went over, put the headset on, probably talked to Joe Brady to get a feel here on 3rd down.
Don't see that often in a timeout, too.
No.
It's only a 3-man rush, and Burrow launches downfield, and Marshall has interfered, and that's going to give LSU a 1st down. Darian Kendrick was beaten and got there very early.
Remember, we talked about how they're going to show potentially pressure, and then they could come out of it. Simmons, Muse, they look like they're showing it, and then they get out of it at the end. They rush 3 and just drop 8. He's got 8 guys in coverage. Burrow still challenges them with a ball that's underthrown, and that's really what forced Kendrick to run into Marshall.
Man, Kirk, there are a few things that sting a defense more than a pass interference penalty on 3rd and 19.
On an underthrown ball with 8 in coverage.
So the automatic first down moves the ball to the 36. LSU with 1 timeout remaining, and Venable says, dadgummit, you're almost off the field against these guys. Now LSU, which will get the ball to start the second half, has a chance to add to the lead before the break. Play clock running down. 3, 2. Just got it snapped. 3-man rush. Ball gets out. And Chase again hurts Clemson. First down inside Clemson territory.
You press them, you get up tight, they're going to go by you for a touchdown. You drop, you show press and drop, you're going to give them space. It's pitch and catch. It's very simple for him to find that space and make that quick slant throw.
Crank the tempo. Off play action. Burrow looking for a downfield shot. It wasn't there, but he darts forward. Skalski grabs him after a short gain.
Good coverage that time by A.J. Terrell downfield. He wanted to go with tempo, try to catch Terrell napping, see him looking left. He wants to unload that down the left sideline the way he has all year to Jamar Chase. And that, because of that coverage by Terrell, they eventually get to Burrow.
Man, Kirk, this possession feels really important.
Sure does.
LSU on top, getting the ball again to start the third quarter here. The middle 8, Dabo Swinney talks about it, the last 4 and first 4 minutes of each half. Clemson has owned that historically. LSU trying to change that. Burrow worms his way free. How did he not get sacked? He actually got about 3 yards out of the play.
Well, the flexibility within this 3-1-7, you're guessing really where this pressure is coming from, and they're confusing the offensive line. Only problem is they're getting there, but they're not bringing Joe Burrow down. He gets positive yards instead of taking that deep sack, and now it's 3rd and 5 instead of 3rd and 9 or 10.
More manageable, but they're still just 1 for 5 on 3rd down tonight. Chase, slot to the right. Here comes the pressure. Burrow flips it out, and it is Chase making a catch, banging off a tackler for Jefferson. It's a first down again. So Justin Jefferson has begun to get involved now.
Well, as soon as he saw that Jefferson has a chance out here against Skalski, he wants that matchup right there. It's exactly what he found. He's able to make that throw.
Across the middle, pass incomplete. Skalski was in coverage, tipped it, trying to find Marshall.
Skalski is a great linebacker, a leader, inspires his defense, helps set the tone. Having a big night tonight. They've been bringing him a lot on pressure, but when he's underneath in coverage, if there's space, that's what Burrow wants to try to exploit.
28 seconds. LSU still with the timeout. On 2nd and 10, Burrow does not want to take a sack at this position of the field. Just flips it way out of bounds. 3rd down now.
They have the 1 timeout with 21 seconds. This is not an offense that typically thinks, oh, let's settle for a field goal. Let's get it in the middle of the field. Until they have to settle for a field goal, they are attacking. That's been their trademark all year with this new offense that Steve Ensminger and Joe Brady have called. Don't be surprised, even on 3rd down, if they try to find a matchup and take a shot.
If they settle for a field goal attempt, it would be from 52, which would equal the long of freshman Cade York. Play clock at 3. And LSU did not want to have to do it, but now, Kirk, they spend their final timeout. Burrow was taking too long to get things adjusted there.
Yeah, he's mad, too. I think he got mad that LSU, and it ended up being the head coach, Coach O, called a timeout. He was worried that the play clock, he couldn't afford another 5 yards here at the end, and you're trying to stay in field goal range. And Joe Burrow had a reaction as if, slammed the ball in his hands as if he was frustrated with the sideline.
I think Coach O was frustrated there too.
I think he was. Yeah, he didn't really care for that response. They ended up using their last timeout, which is critical. I know they do a good job of getting the ball out, but Clemson's done a pretty good job of getting pressure and confusing the offensive line with the pre-snap to post-snap look.
Burning that timeout certainly has to impact the play call. If they're stopped short of a first down, they would really have to hustle the field goal team out.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about getting a first down and hoping that the clock stops getting out of bounds, or as you said, being in hurry-up mode if they come up short and stay in bounds.
The field goal team poised to run out unless Burrow can gain 10 yards here.
So I think he takes a shot right here.
Burrow takes off and gets in the clear. Gets a block. Makes a cut and is knocked out at the 5. That's gutsy without a timeout, but it works.
It sure is. He followed the center's block. They clear out again to take advantage of his athletic ability. Nobody in the middle after that block by the center, Cushenberry. And boy, he can accelerate, between he and Lawrence. They're known for their ability to throw, but both can hurt you if you forget about their legs.
A 29-yard run. Again, no timeouts. First and goal, 14 seconds.
Burrow's got that internal clock. If he's throwing, it's out in less than 2.5.
Here comes pressure. Gets it out quickly. Touchdown! Thaddeus Moss just standing still. And LSU stretches the lead before halftime. 95-yard touchdown drive. And Moss, one of his best buddies on the team.
Well, they gave him just enough time to get that ball out. He took a shot by Skowski.
You could see the grimace in pain. He paid the price for his 58th touchdown pass of the season. And Randy Moss, just a LSU fan, a proud dad tonight, but he's pumped up. Third touchdown of the season for Moss, and an 11-point LSU lead after they were down 10.
And they get the ball, as you said, to start the second half. You can see the medics are checking out Joe Burrow. Here's the big run. Third down and 10. What are you going to go with? Look at the blocks downfield. He's pointing, trying to get it one more block to try to get it into the end zone, and wisely steps out of bounds. And then this is a great call. Once they get inside the red zone, a heck of a call by the LSU Brain Trust. They found a matchup. He recognizes blitz right here on the inside. And what a great job by Moss of, instead of taking that into the corner, he settles down to give Burrow, who just gets it off, a chance to throw it into that hole in the zone.
He's got the flak jacket, but Skowski is the hardest hitter in this defense. His dad, who was a linebacker, told him, son, when you hit another player, you make them feel you. And he does.
Sure did. Yeah.
Burrow.
What a route by Moss. You couldn't see it there, Chris, but he was going to go into the corner, recognize that Kendrick was in zone, and just settle down. Great recognition by the tight end.
So LSU, a 21-point run. They've scored touchdowns on their last 3 possessions.
This gives you a really good feel and a look for this. Instead of continuing out here, he just settles. He sees that, settles, and Joe Burrow saw the same thing. That's what you have when you have two best friends. They see the same thing, and instead of throwing that into the corner, he runs the right route, and Joe Burrow puts it right on the money.
And now Cole Brennan has been caught. Burrow with 3 touchdown passes in the first half. Not quite the 7 that he had in the first half against Oklahoma, but new FBS record, and you'd like his chances of owning it outright before this one is done. So Trevor Lawrence, a kneel down. Clemson's defense was so dominant early. You think we're doing a great job on Joe Burrow. He's thrown for 270. He's run for 55, and the lead is 11.
28 points, 359 yards, tracking towards over 700 yards of offense and 56 points.
Well, how would LSU respond? No, they have answered strongly. And here's Ed Orgeron with Tom Rinaldi.
Ed, from down double